like the boom arm look. Makes me feel like I'm a DJ.
Tonight we're going to play 1980s rock. We got some Poison, Motley Crue, and some Faith No More.
All right, let's get down to it. I got my flannel on. I got my mountain hat on. You know why? I'm doing a West by God, Virginia video here. So I come from, my last name's Armstrong, but my mom's maiden name was Hawkins. It's a good name. I got a buddy named Hawkins, Tim Hawkins, and John Hawkins. They live in Ohio and Kentucky. And they're not even related to me. And they're country boys. Proud country boys. I like them. I like them a lot. All right, so real quick, I got a review back in the day on my Katsu. Yeah, convex blade, carbon fiber handles, Japanese knife. Incredible action. Really cool knife. No pocket clip. Came with a leather slip that you sheath kind of thing. I put a lanyard on it. Never carried it. Actually, it's been in my wife's Jeep for I don't know how long. Boy, I'm getting a country drawl. I'm feeling it. Feeling the country. My voice is strong on this one. You know why? Because I'm talking West Virginia. Now, the reason why I got on that is I took the lanyard off of this, and I have declared, even though I do have more slip joints coming in from Blade HQ that I tried to cancel, blah, 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 butt hurt, they're still going to be coming in. But I don't care. This Rough Rider's a winner to me. I put a lanyard on it. Look at that. This will be going into my pocket right here. And then, so I was revisiting tying the lanyards on to the bottom of the knife comfortably, the way I like it. Put that right there in my pocket. But it got me thinking with the slip joints, it made me feel reminiscent of my grandpa. So my grandpa, Tom Hawkins, I got his tackle box here. So I have a lot of his tackle. His name is right on top there, Tom Hawkins. I got some of his guns. I've got some of his fishing equipment. And I have some of the craziest lures that were his back in the day. Right here, this is a Penn Reels. Look at that. Penn Reels, kind of a catalog, instruction manual, repair parts list. Back in the day, they didn't have the interwebs, didn't have the YouTubes. They just had these little pamphlets. I'm surprised I still have this. This is crazy. I know somebody who'd really like to look through this. Tim School of Knives. Tim, you might be putting this in your hand someday just so you can check it out. What the hell? Why not? Oh, whoa. Look at this thing. Now, I've already stuck myself twice with it just pulling it out of the damn tackle box. Now, that's some kind of monkey shine looking radical fishing reel. My grandpa was a sportsman in West Virginia. He's from Bridgeport, West Virginia. He probably didn't use that in a river or a stream in West Virginia. That's something he fished in Alaska, all kinds of places where you would need something big like this. This is probably like an ocean reel for all I know. I don't ocean fish at all. I've gone once or twice in my whole life. But look at these things. Crazy. I have stuff in here. You know, the date on this, he wrote it, 7/17/78. I was 8 years old. 1978. Stuff's like antiques. I mean, I've got like little packets of little weird fishing leaders and things like that in here. Little yellow worm looking things. Original packaging from back in the day in the 70s. Still in this tackle box. Kids today probably don't even know what that is. They probably hear people say the word bobber, but they've never used one. Not today. Not in today's fishing. How old is your fish? This has got like some kind of species and age chart and everything. Couldn't just Google it. Not back in that day. But I've got all these old lures. Check them out. There's some. These are kind of cool because these are like spoons. Look at these things. Metal spoons, they call them. They shine real good and they'll attract the fish big time. Let's see, what else do I got? These might not be older. I think these are mine from when I used to fish, but I know this was my grandpa's. These two right here. No, these were all his. Because I had some of my own. I used to fish in West Virginia quite a bit too. But man, I'd like to know. Look at some of these. Some of these are really special looking. You can tell just by looking at them that they have, there's a quality there. There's something. Here's some more. So I know that there are vintage fishing lures, not reels, but lures that go for a lot of money. But it's hard to tell which ones do. I think a lot of times they like the ones that were hand painted. I know that much. But here I've got individual little containers. Container after container after container. You know, and whether these are worth money, I don't know. Some of them look like they'd still probably be really good to fish with. Believe it or not. But I got pieces of my grandpa. All these. My grandpa probably used every one of these to catch a fish. Or try to catch a fish. Because that was another thing too. Is back in the day, a lot of times, these are newer lures. I keep on calling them reels. These are some newer ones. And some older ones that were my grandpa's. I've got probably over 100 of them. I tell you the ones I liked. I use these a lot. These little crawdads. Little crawdad. Right there, a little mud bug. Yep, I use those a lot. And then I've got some cool little ones that I had purchased. Little bug. You know my favorite fishing reel? If I don't stop saying reel, start saying lure, I'm gonna have to get my fishing badge is gonna have to be revoked. God, I'm talking with a draw because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling West Virginia. Don't fish out here in Indiana. There's places to fish, but it ain't the same as West Virginia. It's not like in West Virginia you're angling. You know what I mean? You're out there and you're with the nature. In Indiana, everything's so wide open. You're fishing, you feel like you're in a field, and you're throwing your line out and you're waiting for a catfish to bite on it or a carp, and that seems like it. You know what I mean? Some lake, some streams and stuff. I'm probably giving it a hard time, but the rooster tail. That's my favorite. In West Virginia, if you fish with a rooster tail, you're catching something. Catching a bass. I like the rooster tails. I got so many cool fishing reels. I tell you what. I'd like to know. I mean, even if they were valuable, do you sell your grandpa's fishing lures? No. But like, I kept saying reels, but in one of my fishing bags, I keep fishing reels. I got a fishing reel behind me up on the shelf. I might put this up there too. That was my grandpa's fishing reel. This was his fishing reel. Used to have tons of them. I don't know where they're all at now. This is just a couple here that I have. I've got more fishing reels. I just said it again, didn't I? Fishing reels, fishing lures. More here. Look at this. Surprised I didn't just dump them all. I've almost never used any of these ones, to be honest with you. I haven't. Like I said, I would use the rooster tails, and I would use the mud bugs, and that would be about it. It never ends, though. Look at that. Gotta watch these fishing reels, fishing lures. Man, I'm having myself a brain fart. Tell you what, never use that. I mean, what are you fishing for when you're using that? Tell me, folks. Just the strangest stuff that my grandpa used to catch fish. People back in the day had to make their own fishing lures. Look at that rig. That's a rig. That there's a rig. That's a rig if I ain't ever seen a rig before right there. Look at that thing. It's got like a, I don't know what that is. But it just made me think about my grandpa. And it all came from, you know, that's the thing about life, folks, is you need to look. See that? You need to let things make you think. You need to let things inspire you. You need to not just say, "Oh, that's just a pocket knife," and set it over on the table. No, that's not just a pocket knife, folks. You know what this is? This here is a slip joint knife. It's a Rough Rider Apta. I was on the hunt for a new knife. I bought quite a few of these, trying to find the best one, and that's how I'll do it. You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna say, "Hey, I'm gonna buy a pocket knife and that's it." No, because I want what I like the best, and it's gonna fit me. You know, it fit me, and not only it fit me, but it spoke to me. You know, and it told me, "Hey, Dick Richey, you need to remember your grandpa. You need to think about the past. You're 53 years old, Dick Richey. You know, you can remember a time before the interwebs. You can remember a time before the Juggle. You know, everybody goes to the Juggles now, and they can get all their answers. But back in the day, people had to get their answer. People had to get their answers from a little card that they kept in their tackle box. How old is your fish? Look at that. I don't know how old my fish is. But I'm going to find out. I don't even have a fish. There's Gary. Gary the Gimbal. He gets a mind of his own sometimes. Now, there's a lure behind me. And it's a big lure, and it's got big hooks. And I got flip-flops on. Yeah, I put the flannel on because you're going to see the waist up, country boy. But I got shorts and flannel on. But back in the day, they didn't have the Juggles. They didn't have the interwebs. All they had was a little pamphlet in their tackle box. Told them, "Hey, your fishing reel broke. You got a Penn reel. Here's all the different kinds of reels, right? Now you got to look for the part, and you got to call a human being. I got to call a human being on my landline telephone with the rotary. 1-800 200. I got to do all the numbers. Now, what? Somebody's going to answer the phone when I call at a business, and they're going to go, "Hello, this is Penn Reels." And you're not even going to get it back then. You're not even going to get somebody say, "Let me direct your call," or press 1 if you want to talk to a human being. Press 3, you know, if you're from West Virginia. Who knows? No, they just say, "Hey, the Penn Reels. What do you need?" "Well, I got a Penn Reel PR 743, and I'm missing a bearing. My bearing went out in my PR 743. "Oh, 743, you say?" "Yeah." "Well, 743 is one hell of a reel, buddy. That bearing never goes out. How come the bearing went out? What are you doing with that thing, son?" "Well, I was out fishing down Boutico Creek. I don't know. I caught myself a big old bass. Smallmouth. I think I had to weigh at least 1.5 pounds, too." "1.5 pounds, too, smallmouth. That ain't nothing, son. The PR 423, that should have reeled it in. Your bearing should be fine." Now you're talking to this guy, and he thinks you're lying to him. I'm like, now you're getting mad. Now you say, "Listen, Ted," because you know his name. You're talking to a human being. You go, "Listen, Ted, I ain't got time for this. Send me a bearing." "Well, okay, Dick Richey, calm yourself." Well, I almost got real. Because I also know Ted's just down the street. Penn Reels, right there, 2 towns down in West Virginia. I was going to drive down there and kick his butt. I don't know, Ted's a pretty big dude. West Virginia guys, we're all big guys. We're all big boys. And man, are there some tough guys in West Virginia. Hoo-wee. Dick Richey, I'm a big guy. And I've been in some fistifights. I was going to say fisticuffs. I've been in some fisticuffs, some fistifights. And I've won a few, and I've lost a few. Yeah, West Virginia, we got some undefeateds. Don't want to mess with them. No. I think every state's got them, too. Just West Virginia, we have ours, and they're just big. They look, I mean, my name's Ted Penn Reels, and I heard talking some smack. I'm gonna whoop your ass, Dick Richey. I'm here. Boom, boom, boom. He's just knocking on my door. And I'm answering the door like I got the chain on there. Ain't no Dick Richey in here. And I shut that door and I go hide. Yeah. I ain't scared to be scared. I'm smart enough to be scared when I need to be. Trust me. But yeah, back in the day, man, you know, in my slip joint Rough Rider Apta, where'd I put it? It's right here. Took me back. Took me back, man. Back when we didn't have cell phones. Back when we didn't have, you know, flat screen TVs. Back when we didn't have computers. I mean, first computer I can remember ever messing with was a Tandy, and that was like 1981, 82. Now, when I was about 6 years old, 5 years old, 4 years old, I got my first Telestar, which was the Pong. Yeah, it had a little beep, beep, and these two things went like this, and a ball would go bing, bing, beep, 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 pong, ping, pong. Yeah, I had the first Pong. I had it, and I played it, and I was a kid, and I was like 5 years old, I think, 75, because we lived in a trailer court down in Florida when I was a kid. You know, this is story time. You know, I'm scared. There's a reel right here. Lure. It's a lure, Dick Richey. It's stuck to the carpet. I almost stepped on that thing. That thing sends you to the hospital. So I'm going to tell you a story. I was going to tell you one story about my grandpa and his knives, but now I'm going to tell you another story. Let's tell you this story. So Dick Richey was born on the campus of WVU, West Virginia University. My mom was a sophomore in college. My dad was a junior. When they had me, she was a junior. My dad was a senior, and he was graduating. She didn't get to graduate because he graduated, and they said, hey, we're getting out of West Virginia. We're moving down to Florida. Not sure why. But they went down to Florida. So my dad, he got a job. You know, he had a 4-year degree from WVU, 1970, right? And he got a job at Firestone. Well, he was a pretty innovative guy. He was ambitious. He had drive. He had a good ticker, right? No, that's a ticker. Whatever. He was smart. Okay? I'm not as smart as he was, obviously, because I can't even tell you what a ticker and what my head is. Yeah. But he had drive. It is what it is. Let's tell you a good story. It's a bedtime story. Well, he worked for Firestone. He was keeping the books. Didn't pay very well. Living in a trailer court. Yeah. My parents were college kids. All right? They were in their 20s. They were butt wild. They all were wild back then. You know what I mean? So they wanted to drink the devil's elixir with their friends in the evening still. And they had a little newborn, and it was me. And I was like 1 or 2. And Dick Richey was a pain in their ass. I didn't want to go to sleep at night. So I'm always like getting out of my crib, and I'm, you know, and they'd be drinking with their friends in the kitchen or something, and they'd see my fingers go up underneath the door trying to open the door because I want to come out and party with them. Yeah, I was a partier at an early age. And they'd go, what you doing, Dick Richey? And my fingers would come out, and I'd try to get back in the crib. I still wouldn't go to bed. You know what my mom would do? She was a wild lady. She'd go out around the trailer, and she'd scratch on the window. Yeah, it's Florida, so the window's open. I'm in this dark room. I'm just a little twerp. The postman's coming. That's what she says. I'm a humble kid. Ain't no wonder I ain't right. The postman's coming. And then they'd all be out there watching. Because I couldn't see them, but they could see me. You know, and this was part of their party. Hey, let's go watch the Armstrongs mess with their kid. So they'd see me scrambling around, and I'd climb up in that crib, get back in that crib, and then my mom would go, postman. Never did understand why I don't like the mailman. Yeah, mailman might have been my daddy. Who knows? But that's all they had to do then. So Saturday comes along. It's time for the Armstrong, you know, parents. It's time for them to get together with their friends. You know, they're still in their 20s. They still want to drink beer and have fun. They're having a little party in the Armstrong kitchen, and they see the fingers going to there. Mom will go out, scratch on the window. Postman's coming. Boom. I'm sleeping. That's all it took. Yeah, parenting in the 70s, parenting in the 80s. Whole different kind of world. I don't even think they know how to parent now. Hard to tell. Doesn't seem like it. These kids are crazy. Crazier than I am. My slip joint, Rough Rider actor, took me back all through all that, my brain. So bad. Things like this. It doesn't have to be a knife. It could be an axe. It could be a baseball bat. It could be a baseball glove. It could be a baseball. It could, I don't even know why I'm saying baseball. I don't like baseball. But it could be any of those things. Live a life with some nostalgia.